Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to Crypto Traders Arena. Hey everyone, how's it going? I think I'm streaming. Welcome back. Yeah, I was playing around with a little bit of a delay just for fun. But good to see it. Hey David, Hanya, how's it going? Looks like I'm streaming. I don't know. When I use these scheduled streams, they never seem to start that smoothly, so I don't know. But yeah, back at another Wednesday afternoon for me for another crypto show. I suppose there's not tons and tons to talk about from a weekly chart kind of thing, I guess. So I don't know if we can find too much to buy, but certainly if you have any requests you want to take a look at, we certainly can. Yeah, I'm not buying a Lambo, but that's more just because I kind of think Lambos are dorky. But I hope more power to you. Go buy a Lambo, David, if you're ready. I don't think that's my style, but hell, I hardly even drive is the funny thing. More of a bike kind of person. Okay. Anyway, I didn't mean to start on balls here, but I did just bang a double out on balls here a little earlier. So this was one of the names that we were trading since yesterday. Hopefully, I don't know who else is in balls that's in the room. Nice W's off the bottom here. I think this was probably a Stefan call. I can't remember. I saw them talk or heard them talking about it in the New York session yesterday and just went and grabbed it. Yeah, we could look at CAN-C, I suppose. I guess this one's getting listed on MEXC here in the next day or so, so I don't know. I still sold half on a double just because that's how I roll, but we'll see what happens with the rest of it. Maybe it can rip. And it looks like Solana memes are still kicking. For a minute there yesterday, I thought maybe they were running out of gas. Like I noticed that Wen was dumping pretty good yesterday, and then it ended up bouncing really hard. So pretty good example of 38.2 being sort of like I mean, there was an M here. I mean, that was an M, kind of a weird looking one because of these dojis, but this is a daily chart, and Wen was M'ing out here and dumped down at 38.2, but pretty good example of a strong uptrend. Like you should find support at 38.2. We were just talking fib ranges in Capture One here this week, actually. And Colin's famous pump chaser zone in this case, I guess, is what's being what was tested here, but I don't know. So I guess the Solana memes are still intact. I kind of feel like if following Wen and maybe like Whiff and Bonk are probably the tells on Solana memes. So Whiff's up 35% on the day. So I think going and degening into these Solana memes is probably still okay. Let's look at Whiff really quick. I'm totally not starting where I was going to start, but what the hell? I don't have a plan for this stuff ever, so. But Whiff looks like it's making a new high. So yeah, Solana memes are ripping, and like I said, we were trading balls. A couple other ones that didn't go so great so far this week for me, like Light was another one, which I think a lot of the guys in the group caught the first side of Light, and then it got really like 10x's and stuff. And then I bought the dip, and it hasn't done much. I guess I could look at that one here in a bit, but point I was getting at is Whiff's in a strong uptrend still. So yeah, this one's still ripping, and probably Bonk is too. So it looks like Solana memes are still. Bonk actually looks like it. I had this stupid megaphone on here a while back, which didn't really make any sense. I suppose that could turn into an M here. So if Bonk M's out here, maybe the Solana memes will cool off for a bit. But hey, Eddie, what's up? Good to see it. Paul's in the room. Constantine, hello. Yeah. So anyway, Solana memes. Maybe I'll look at those in a minute. Well, I don't know. I was going to back up a little bit, look at Bitcoin. We could take a look at any altcoins anybody wants to look at. I've been banging out tons of doubles, as a matter of fact. Geez, like I guess like most recently, all of these. Let's see, CGLD, Rary, Fourth, ARPA, SNX, Aave, Balls, Light, not a double. Sol, I have a trade on that. It wasn't a double, but I am in a free position. Sol C. This is a Solana meme that I just traded a little differently than normal. Mana got double, NKN double. AOS took profit up at like well over like 15x, I think, recently. Gala double. Well, this goes back to like last week now. Fist. Brett was a pretty epic runner. NCT, another double. I don't know. Most of these things on this screen are doubles, as a matter of fact. But so point being, if you're, I don't know, if you're buying throughout the last year, like, you know, Paul and I make that show every Sunday. We highlighted almost all of these names, I imagine, or at least that show kind of sticks to the bigger market cap names, but I still would usually toss in some of these ideas. And of course, most of these ideas came out of our chat too, out of our premium chat or even the free Discord chat. So hopefully people are long some of this stuff. I think I saw Hanya is just getting a double on Kanto, XEM, Zen. Oh, Zen is like right under my double level. Lit. Zen's like a few pennies under my double right now, I think. That's from the chat, Hanya's saying, so good job. Who else is getting doubles? Everybody throw your doubles in the, I don't know, let's all celebrate our winning trades. Since there's not a lot to buy right now, I mean, sadly, well, not sadly, well, sadly if you're not long, I suppose. If you're not long, then I don't know what to say. It's kind of hard to go and ape into this stuff. I would say maybe take a look at Solana coins and maybe try to like trade those if you're so inclined. But I don't know if there's going to be too many altcoins to go and buy. Or like, I shouldn't say all, well, just like the regulars, like on centralized exchanges and stuff. Those are all pretty much ripping now. Eddie says 128 doubles for, is that like this cycle or what? 120. Like over the last year, basically, or I don't have an exact count on mine, but I imagine it might not be that high, but it's got to be close. Yeah, I don't know. Are you even trading crypto if you didn't get 100 doubles? I'm just kidding. But I suppose if you do this kind of, you know, this strategy that many of us that hang around either our group or the Rational Investor, or sort of offshoots of all that, like this kind of sell half on double risk management strategy that I first learned from Mr. Brian Beamish. Well, at least, I mean, this idea of selling half on a double and getting your free position back, or getting your original capital back so that you have a free ride, and trying to play this, you know, trying to play the crypto cycle. It works really well for this crypto cycle kind of stuff because, you know, pretty much all of these coins do the same thing. I mean, even Bitcoin, you know, it just kind of does this up and down. I mean, every asset, to be honest. I mean, this happens in stocks too. It's just stocks don't move as fast. So banging out doubles. I mean, I remember in, you know, the post-COVID, like market stocks were doubling just like altcoins. It was insane. But if you trade small caps, then you can do that in small cap land. In fact, somebody was just telling me about a double they got on a crypto stock recently. I've banged out several doubles on crypto stocks. And I suppose lately, I don't know. I mean, I have banged some stock doubles out like this LBPH. This is a while back, but man, this thing, I like, the same kind of idea. You know, I was in there buying, went underwater for a while, got a double, and then sold another half way up here at way more than a double. That's like 5 or something max. That's a pharma or like a biotech name. So I mean, it does happen, but it's it's almost like shooting fish in a barrel in crypto as long as you know when to go in and buy bottoms and ranges. So, and you got to kind of time it. You got to be there at the right time to take advantage of these things because they all look the same basically. They all kind of make this nice I mean, just this bottom right here. This is what you got to learn here. Is just I was early kind of, I was in here. This one was an interesting case though, because right here, I remember going and looking at this, and it was almost entirely owned by the insiders. Not that you guys care about stocks, but this one was like they had a bunch of cash on the books, which isn't that uncommon for a biotech because they're probably going to burn it all. But then they owned like 90% of the company, and I was just thinking they're probably not going to go sell the bottom here. And sure enough, they didn't. I bet they were selling up here. C3 AI. Yeah, that was like a stock that ripped, right? I don't know. I guess we're looking at stocks now. Hell, I don't have. Unfortunately, I have a bad case of maybe ADHD, you'd call it. I don't know. I can't keep. I can't stay on track to save my life. But I actually think I'm a mixed bag because on one hand, I have the attention span of like a fly. But on the other hand, I think I'm pretty consistent. So how do you figure that? Like I'm always on time. I do what I say I'm going to do. So I guess I'm both. I don't know. I forgot how to find C3 AI though. I don't know. C3PO AI. Is it C3? Is that what it is? C? It's not is it crypto or maybe it's crypto. I don't know. Is it crypto? I have no idea. C3 AI. Hanya's saying 104 doubles this cycle. Dang. Nice. So there's two people touting over 100 doubles in the chat. I'll have to go count, to be fair. I don't have a count on me. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at here, actually. Geez, C3 AI stock. Put the dot. C3 dot. I thought it was... Oh, there it is. Oh, well, I mean, I'm sure there was doubles to be had here, but this actually looks halfway decent. This is like more like trend continuation, though, I suppose. It's not really the kind of location that I want to buy for investors, but it kind of looks like a little bit of Collins pump Jacer zone action. Well, I guess we got 61.8 tags in here. So I wonder, I mean, this looks like a ABCD up into somewhere up here. So probably could still bang doubles out off of that level, 53 or $4 up here. So nice W here and two solid lows to work from. I don't know. I don't mind this. I didn't really seem to trade any of the AI stocks because I'm just not that smart, I guess. I don't know why, but I missed well, I did trade Lighter, which was like sort of, I wonder what that one's doing these days. That's like a kind of indirect AI name. I mean, these guys have a great ticker, or their business name is AI, and they do like they do like radar for electric vehicles, like light detection and radar, and then they have some AI spin on it. But I guess I don't have my trade on here, but I was in here trading that run up. Man, they've just killed it now. It looks like it's been split since then, actually, because now it's a buck. Like, yeah, this thing must have gotten split afterwards. I had a nice trade on this over last year or sometime. Guess I probably have that over here. I don't know. Now I'm like just completely not on track at all. So sorry. You guys can just keep throwing names you want to look at. I mean, I do like that Lighter. Oh yeah, they've split this thing, so you can't even see my amazing trade anymore. But I mean, I got this thing was like an 8x actually on my last on the last part of my position when I sold that thing. That was the only AI name I really traded though of stocks actually. Anyway, I don't know what I kind of like that C3 AI or whatever. I want to go back to that for a second. I suppose the point I was going to make is that you could do this in stocks too, but I don't know. It's not as easy. I mean, my real point was like, hopefully if you're, well, if you were following along with the sort of like Brian Beamish kind of like nibble at the bottom of the range after everybody's all washed out of crypto, Maybe you wait for W's, or maybe you don't. Maybe you just buy the lows. Hopefully you're banging out 100 doubles now. Question is if you're the type of person that's okay with owning like 100 plus different names. I mean, you got to be willing to like keep that all in order and manage it. And I know some people would be like, no way, man, you should concentrate on like 10 names. And that might be true too. I definitely think that if you're like a gunslinging trader, that might be a good approach. But if you're just kind of got a full-time job, maybe you're just sit back, chilling. You don't want to like spend tons of time. Then just playing these weekly charts and buying bottoms and ranges at the right time is very lucrative. And it seems that, I mean, now we're heading into another Bitcoin halving cycle, and it's just sort of business as usual, I suppose. So anyway, what a kind of crappy start to the show I'm getting off to. I liked my delayed voice. That was fun, but ever since then it's been downhill. What I was going to do is I was going to zoom out just for a minute because I was going to just mention a couple things. I was going to say, look at the dollar. It's like completely rolled over now. It got rejected at it's like 61.8 of this little range here. And I mean, it looks like hell here. So if it just keeps grinding down, I suppose that everything else is just going to keep grinding up. I mean, this is a fractal top here right off Mountain Man. So, I mean, at least it's getting down into like reload zones of the new range now. So I suppose we'll just have to see what happens there. But I think I was talking about last year, even how I still think the reload zone down here will probably be tested. And it looks like it's just sort of, I'm not saying just yet, but like, I bet you there's a good chance. I mean, because I mean, the whole thing was like this, this is, even this, I remember talking about Collins dump chaser zone. I mean, that's a weekly M in the dump chaser zone. So we like dead cat bounced up to 38.2s off of the old highs going back to like 2022. And we put in an M top here on a weekly chart. That's like a M top in the dump chaser zone, excuse me. Which just means this is a lower high, right? So like maybe the DXY is going to start trending lower now. Like that's a pretty solid lower high. So maybe the next lower low is down in this green box. That seems to make, I don't know, I'm not talking about fundamentals or macroeconomics because I'm way too dumb for that. But just like looking at this chart, I don't see any reason why this wouldn't end up down in the green box. Like, I mean, if we were trying to sell a half on a double, if we wanted to buy this to sell half on a double, we'd probably be hunting down here at 78.6 all the way down here. And you could see how, I like to buy the previous W's. There's a couple lines I already had drawn there. So what if the DXY comes all the way down here? I don't know. And if that happens, I just keep looking at these ABCDs on the stock market and going like, well, this shit just, it looks like it's just getting closer each week. So, I mean, I don't know if we're going to go straight up. I have no idea what would happen, but, or what's going to happen. But I mean, I can almost see another ABCD like this too. So like there's the big ones coming off the COVID lows, which I just sort of like that in theory. This was the COVID panic and then it was straight up from there. And then they went through a bear market from December of 21 to October of 22. And then now this ABCD makes sense to me. I bet we could even draw that with like a real tool and see if it's an actual, that'd be fun. If I could, harmonic tool, ABCD. Like, what's the actual fib level there? That's 0.5. So that's within the realm of a real ABCD, I suppose. 0.5. That's kind of a cool. I don't know. I don't trade harmonics, but I love how. I just like the logic behind them and how they're basically just fibs. Yeah, because that's right. This was a 50% level tag. But nonetheless, I see this other ABCD too that I guess is probably already completed. Kind of, it looks like it's getting close to completing. So that's interesting. We're actually coming up into that target. So maybe we actually pull back here as we get up into 520 and maybe even test the old highs, come back down and then bounce up into this level. But it just kind of seems like, I mean, I don't know. We'll see before the election. It'd be fascinating if somehow, that's a big move 513 up to 600 and something, 630, 100 points. That'd be hilarious if they do take it up there right before the election. Then I'd probably say look out on the other side, because that's a what you call PRZ. So that's like a potential short location, you know, up here. Which I'm not sure who came up with potential reload zone. I guess that's Scott Carney, I guess, of the actual harmonic guy. Did he come up with that? I think so. It's kind of funny how all these names, well, oftentimes there's multiple names for the same kind of ideas. Like the ICT guy has that too. Doesn't he have some sort of reload zone kind of name? I can't remember what it is. But anyway, well, all I'm saying here is that it looks like the stock market's still ripping. The dollar's rolling over. Everything's pointing up. So risk on is clearly still ripping. And obviously Bitcoin's ripping. And looks like OBV could even take out this old high here. That, if, I mean, if you think about that, that's like another W. You know, it's not really a W. Well, it is if you go all the way back to here but like we're about to take out that high on OBV. That's crazy. So it looks like stock market wants to keep pushing higher, and same with the NASDAQ. It's just fascinating that these ABCDs are actually kind of like the NASDAQ looks even closer to that level almost. And then like talking about stocks, I like to trade small cap stocks, and I kept saying as long as if we start trending higher here above the range, then I think small cap stocks are back. Maybe they'll see some sort of money shift from, I don't know, maybe from the bigger stocks that have been driving the stock market rally up until now while the Russell 2000 didn't do anything. If this can trend here, then I think probably banging out doubles in stocks might be a little more doable going forward. So that's cool. It looks like it's finally getting out of the range. But crypto, I guess, is probably what people want to talk about, not so much stocks. Although I'm happy to look at stocks if anybody's got any good ideas. We might find better ideas there, to be honest, just because, like I said, altcoins, you can't really buy most altcoins. Even the ones that I like sort of picked over the last couple weeks are too late to buy now. But anyway, Bitcoin, we were doing fibs this week in Capital One, and I drew this extension off of Bitcoin and realized that 1.618 is 100K almost. Well, it's 102K, but man, that's a giant magnet. I think a big fat round number plus 1.618. What if Bitcoin just shoots straight up there? That'd be like the stock market going to that ABCD target. So I don't know. It seems possible. I don't know, but nonetheless, picking up from Sunday, we were talking about the close on Sunday, the weekly close, and it closed. It looks like it closed right at the all-time highs on Coinbase, a little bit above, and then obviously strong move so far this week, which is kind of nice. I mean, we just didn't want to see it FU right back into the range. You know, if it would have just left a big wick shooting up here and then started like making a red candle back inside the range, that would have been kind of ugly. But so far it's not that, and we'll see. Hopefully there's some consolidation here, maybe a retest of the highs and then a bounce, just to sort of suggest that the trend is still up and it's not like a triple top here. Because I suppose if we fail like right in this area, like maybe by the end of the week, if this was just, I mean, I shouldn't speak too soon, this could be just a big wick by the end of the week. We don't know what's going to happen, but if that happens, this is kind of like a triple top potentially. So we don't want to see that at this point. Like, you know, Bitcoin's going parabolic already in a big old wick. And then a close back in the range. That's not going to be the prettiest bull candle. So, but man, it sure is shooting up. And I like that 100K 1.618 extension. So, and then somebody, I guess it was Boo Boo. I can't remember. Somebody was showing, I don't know if I have that Bitcoin rainbow chart. It was pretty fascinating to look at that. I think I put it here in Notion. Let's see. Still kind of building out my Notion. And I have like, this is like my watch list / sort of like a trade log, mostly a trade log to track for these shows and stuff. But then I also am going to build one that's just like things that I want to remember. Like I have this Bitcoin chart in here, but just website stuff that I want to keep track of, just like bookmarks essentially. But Boo Boo was talking about this today, and talk about the cyclical nature of crypto. Geez, like when you look at this in hindsight, it's just obviously you got to buy when it's blue and sell when it's red. But I was thinking about this because, like, I mean, this is the halving. What if we ran up into 100K, like right into that halving, and that would put us like at the top of the green, which was like the top. That was the 61.8 tag in 2019, and then it pulled back into the purple all the way. Like, could look like that again. Maybe we run up into 100K in some crazy parabolic move, and then come back and maybe dip back into like 6750 something around in there, and then make the charge up to the red. That seems like, look at that, that's a 580K. I mean, if that's even higher depending on where we hit that. Like, so I don't know, are we going to see like $800,000 Bitcoin? I have no idea, and I'm not saying this is happening for sure, by the way. I'm just saying this is that chart. I don't know. But either way, you can kind of, even looking at this, you can kind of see how we do need a dip. We've been sort of waiting for a dip, and it hasn't come. And now we're getting closer to the halving. I mean, even this one, like, it's hard to see with those windows, but popping up. But, this, we ripped up into the halving, then kind of pulled back a little bit, more of a sideways thing. This one, we sort of ripped up ahead of the halving and dipped pretty good. So, halving. Having it. Is it happening or having? I think it's both. I say I'm both just so I can be right no matter what. Anyway, this is what I call top tier analysis, by the way. So if you want top tier cutting edge crypto analysis, make sure you tune into my YouTube show on Wednesdays at 19 UTC. Anyway, I kind of like looking at this fun chart. Definitely looks like everything's, I don't know, if you can manage to hang on to your Bitcoins, probably see higher prices down the road. I don't know. We'll see how much storm you have to weather in between now and that 100K or more than 100K. But I bet you probably at least hit 100, right? I don't know. No, I don't mean it will be today. It could be like, we might have to dip 40% first or more. I don't know. Hell, even maybe more. I don't know. David says happening. But that made me think about, then I started thinking about it this morning. I was thinking about what my friend always has called the Bitcoin crunch. And he's a British guy, so it's funny how he says crunch. He's like a Cockney British guy. I always laugh when he says Bitcoin crunch. But he calls it a Bitcoin crunch, and he's been talking about this for like 5 years too, it seems like. But just the idea that, 21 million Bitcoins at some point, there's just going to be so much demand because there's just not enough supply, and it's just going to like rapidly skyrocket Bitcoin, and it'll just never look back from that point. And he's not a technical analyst, by the way. He's just sort of a computer nerd that's done really well in crypto. He's a pretty good trader, but he doesn't use charts or anything, funny enough, or stops or anything. He's more of an investor, not a trader. But anyway, point being, I was thinking about that today, and we're basically seeing this, the one percenters are like rapidly acquiring all the Bitcoin, like all these ETFs and BlackRock or whatever, Michael Saylor, all these people are like sucking up all the supply. And then I started thinking they don't really have much incentive to sell ever, really, because they've now created a vehicle where they could short and hedge their positions. So maybe I'm crazy here. I'm not saying I'm the smartest person when it comes to this stuff, but in my mind, it's the one percenters are going to acquire all the Bitcoin that helps them get off of the fiat system a bit, which I'm sure they're looking at doing because they're seeing the dollar just devalue. They're almost planning for it, or planning it. You could say, like, why wouldn't they just acquire all the Bitcoin and then create a bunch of paper Bitcoin assets, sell them to all the noobs and all the public, all the boomers, everybody, just unload to them. And then they hang on to the real Bitcoins, and then they just short the market when they want price to come back down through other vehicles. They don't sell their Bitcoin. Like, I don't know if they'll ever. I don't know. Maybe I'd be interested to see what other people's opinions are. I don't see why like BlackRock would ever sell their Bitcoins. They'll just short the market to hedge. But I don't know. Call me crazy. So maybe we get to that sort of hyper Bitcoin demand kind of situation. Now, on the other side of that, if there's a bunch of paper Bitcoin assets floating around, I suppose the demand, the 21 million sort of finite count is sort of, I don't know, diluted through paper, kind of like gold. I don't know. Like, is there really, like, have the banks sold only paper worth the gold they already have, or did they maybe sell more? I don't know. Like, have they sold more paper than the gold they actually have? I don't know. Can they do that with Bitcoin potentially? I don't know. But of course, the ETFs, it's not like you can withdraw your Bitcoins ever. So I just thinking about that a lot this morning, going like, I don't know if these 1%ers have that much incentive to sell Bitcoin in the future, or at least not in the near future. And I also even said, I don't know if people follow Gainsey. That dude's hilarious, Gainsey on Twitter. And I usually, I get most of my analysis from that guy. He did just make a funny comment about how people were talking about calling tops right here while the institutions are buying all your coins. And that does sound a little silly. Like, why would you be too bearish right here? I suppose if it's like now is when the sort of like traditional money's piling in. Anyway, I say this stuff. I'm not trying to make some uber. It's not like I'm always weary of making like uber bullish statements. I am bullish on this stuff for sure, but I also know that this cycle happens, and eventually we'll end up topping out and coming back down, and you can draw your reload zones and buy again. It's just, I don't know. Bitcoin's a special animal. I mean, the rest of crypto, I don't know. Like, that will happen for sure. In fact, most of the altcoins will probably go to zero at the end of this, but like many of them, especially all the memes and all that stuff. But it'll be fast. I mean, either way you slice it, if you're hanging around Bitcoin right now, you're part of a pretty epic sort of transformational story, I'd say, like some sort of paradigm shift. Either way you slice it. So that's fun. David's saying, yeah, hard to believe they're buying tops. It's true, but if they're just buying tops to sell to the public their paper, then I don't know. I mean, like, people like to pick on Michael Saylor, but go figure out, he even just bought the top right now. And everybody thinks he's an idiot, but I don't think he's an idiot. His average cost is still, even if he just stays averaged in at around the price, keep in mind he used other people's money to buy all that, and he sold, his company's done like way better than Bitcoin. The hilarious part is his MicroStrategy has far outperformed Bitcoin this cycle, man. Hell, they went like, oh, I don't want to say without looking at it. It's like, I'm kicking myself for not buying Bitcoin. I mean, buying MicroStrategy. I mean, this is the same Head and Shoulders. You could argue the Head and Shoulders breakout on MicroStrategy was 315, and now it's sitting at 1800. Did it outperform Bitcoin? 15 to 75 is Bitcoin, so I guess it's close, right? I don't know. Don't make me do the math, please. Oh yeah, and Eddie's saying, "Where's the top?" Yeah, who knows if he's buying tops? We don't have a top yet, so I don't know. But I mean, I'm backing up a bit. Nothing changes about my trading plan, by the way. I'm not buying tops. So I'm talking I'm just sort of speculating on sort of bigger picture stuff. It doesn't change the way I trade. That would probably be the most important thing I could say is I'm not going to change my attitude about this. Like, yeah, I wish I would have bought a MicroStrategy down here, like maybe even off that W or this Head and Shoulders bottom, but I'm not going to be, chasing this. And that's just part of the sort of whole trading thing, right? Like if you get in the habit of chasing markets like this, you're probably just going to get run over and over again. But if you can train yourself to buy, buy the post bear market accumulation zone, you'll probably do okay. And so like right now, that's not anywhere in, well, I mean, maybe like what was some of my most recent calls on crypto would be like Kava. What's it doing today? Yeah, this one's still, I mean, even on Sunday, it was sitting right at the breakout level. And I remember even just saying, yeah, you're kind of chasing right here, but in the bigger picture, you're not really chasing. And it's up a little bit since then, a couple days later. So, I mean, you can't say nothing's buyable. This is, now you're really getting into chasey. I mean, unless you're the kind of person like, that is going to let this play out. Like if you're the person that's going to panic sell when it kind of dips, then I wouldn't buy it right here. And I don't really like the idea of buying it right where it's sitting right now. But to be fair, it's not that bad. I mean, just to move back to 38.2 is a 3x. Well, not anymore, but it was 300% from the breakout level. And to be fair, that level will probably get tested again, right? Like we could probably bounce around here a bit before it takes off. This is also Adam and Eve. I might have said that on Sunday, but if anybody cares about Adams and Eves, that's what that's called. Which that's like a nice cycle bottom. Like that's like a good sign of a solid bottom. You had like the capitulation bottom come in where like the, smart money first stepped up and pushed price up. And then they started accumulating again at that level as it came down, eventually putting in a double bottom. That's a really nice, strong, strong sign of a bottom. What else was I talking about recently that was buyable? Well, there was Ren a while ago, but that one's already almost doubled. For me, at least. Like, yeah, it's starting to get close to my double. Nice bottom. And I mean, like this one, I was saying the same thing. That was back in February 12th. And I remember just being like, well, there isn't like that great of a W or anything, but it's just so damn cheap. And there's nothing else to buy. Like even back then, there wasn't that many things to go buy in altcoins and it was just cheap. So I was like, well, fuck it. I don't know. Same with Zcash. What's Zcash doing? Same thing. I guess I'm getting closer to a double on Zcash too. Also, no bottom really. I was just buying against the old lows. It was just cheap and not moving when everything else had taken off. And then we started talking about like all the Dino coins, and they're probably all kind of, like Dash, same thing. EOS kind of took off a little bit already. Those are like the last things to buy recently, I think. Hell, Litecoin was breaking out. I don't know what Litecoin's doing. Yeah, Litecoin, kind of annoyed with Litecoin after all this because I bought I bought Litecoin on this tag right there. 786. We like to buy 786s. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I bought 618 right here. And then almost got a double. Yeah, from like, what was that? 65 to, I didn't get a double here. And then then it just put in this nice bottom lately. That was the buy right there, actually, the 786 buy. I didn't do that, but damn, look at that. That was a nice area to buy Litecoin, $56. You'd, I guess, be getting a double. Well, you would have just gotten your, close, not quite yet. So I don't know. Some people say that when Litecoin starts running, that's the end of the rally. That could end up being the case. But I mean, that looks pretty good. I mean, last week you could have bought the retest of the W. That's pretty good. Although actually Litecoin doesn't look that great on OBV here. Wow, talk about a little bit of a disjointed presentation. It is what it is. But oh, actually, somebody did have something to look. You guys tell me what to look at. How about would be cool. There was something in here. Let's see. Let me see. Oh, KNC. Oh, well, Loom. Hanya's talking about Loom. I think David said something about KNC, which that was one that I was talking about recently too, because it was also very much like. I mean, damn. I mean, yeah. I mean, that looks like the bottom's in to me. It's just a question of do you want to, ape in on the W here, which is fine. It's just, we are getting a little late in this rally, and I could easily see this coming back. So like you're taking on that risk. But I mean, I suppose if you just think about it like this, I think it's getting a little outside of my window. I like to keep this risk window to 50%. It's 51% to the low. So, and that's from the breakout, not from where price is sitting right now. So like, okay, fine. Like I'd be willing to do that. And because I can see clearly that a double is going to be like less than 38.2s off the range. So that seems to make sense to me still. Looks like I banged another double out on Zen, which I mean, I was hyping Zen a while back because Zen's one of my old favorites. Zen's like one of my old favorites. I love Zen. I would buy Zen every cycle going forward as long as it exists. I'll say that. So anyway, yeah. I mean, you can see how doubles just attest to this high here. So I don't know. You'll probably still get filled at that level. And I mean, all I could say is, so yeah, as an investor, if you want to buy, that's the max I would go is I would just work my bid at like, what is that, 920? So like 0.921 or something, or just a couple ticks above that green line. That's about as high as I'd be willing to chase it because I'm already getting to my 50% risk window. I don't like to go over 50%. Because if you think about that, sort of like a 2-to-1, right? If you have 50% downside risk, your double's a 2-to-1. So it's just a good way of looking at it. But to be fair, if you're the kind of person that wants to snipe your way in, you could draw some reload zones here and look for a pullback because it's likely that'll come in. And like I said, we're getting to the end here, and even RSI is getting overbought here already. And I shouldn't say the end, but we're getting well into this rally, and we're getting closer and closer to the halving. So I don't know if the problem is if everything rolls over, this thing, you're going to go underwater immediately if the whole market dips. So I don't know if it's like, I mean, I don't want to call tops, so I'm not saying the rally's over for sure. I just know that anything that's not ripping already is going to dip just like everything else if the dip comes, which might put you in new lows even. Like, I mean, this looks like the bottom's into me, but you never know what's going to happen if like the whole market comes off 30% or something. This thing will probably at least come off 30% and maybe even more. So there might be better prices in the future, but if you go slowly, and I don't know, I'm already long KNC, but without any doubles or something, I don't know where my chart is, but well, fuck it. I haven't gotten a double off. I know that. So like, yeah. So there's three. What are we talking about? KNC is still kind of ish viable. Kava is sort of taken off, but kind of. Is that it? There's got to be something else. We also, well, Hani was saying Loom. That's right, Loom. We could look at that. Loom's Loom got delisted for me on Coinbase, which was annoying. I mean, this one, nice W for sure, came in already off of like 88.6 bottom, basically. I mean, not a huge surprise. Maybe Loom, Binance seems like an okay place to look at it. Anyway, you can see how they brought it against the old W, which ended up being 88.6 now of the new range. And so that was anywhere around there is fine. Here is still at 78.6 even here. It's just you're kind of chasing it. I feel like there would be more upside on the Loom. I feel like maybe, is there somewhere else to look at it? Like Qcoin maybe? Not that. I feel like Loom's older than that, but well, I is Loom really only just from August, no, or from 2023? There's no way. That's weird. I imagine Loom was up here back in the past, but maybe I'm making that up. I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing two different names. Anyway, I like that W. It's just a little late. Wow, there's a bunch of chatting going on that I didn't see. Yeah, Geo Boat. That one. Well, then there's Elizabeth Horan. God, I think that one was ripping now too. I missed both of those. Geo Bowden and Elizabeth Horan. Man, crypto is hilarious. Yeah, we'll look at some memes in a minute. I don't know. OAX. Could look at that. Anyway, Hanya, I like Loom. I mean, you're probably already long. You know what's going on. You've already gotten over 100 doubles, so I'm not worried about your picks. Looks good. I think it's a little hard for me to buy this one now. Well, I guess I could try out Being X or CoinX. I'm looking for something to buy on CoinX just to try out my account. Oh. But yeah, nice W. I mean, nice location, nice W, nice OBVW here too. So yeah, it probably will rip. I don't want to chase it here. This one's kind of weird because if I was going to use my little 50% risk window, my gut wants me to use way down here because I don't like how there's a fair value gap right here on that candle. So like, yeah, they might have to dip it down, take out these recent lows. And that's kind of a lot of downside to these lows. So, I mean, I don't know. It's not bad, but I suppose a double would be like right here. If you aped in right there, that's not really the kind of trade. That's a little bit chasing to me. Hey, Stefan. Oh yeah, Caprio 2 probably just finished up, so that's cool. Stefan's working with those guys to do some scalping. Anyway, what else could I talk about here? Did we have something else? Loom's okay. Doesn't look like anything else in the chat here. I don't know. We'll look at the OAX. OAX. Yeah, I mean, also kind of chasing here. I mean, it's more than doubled off of this low. It's not quite doubled off that low, but it's up a good 60-70% in that move. And I suppose you could argue there's like a bigger W that's trying to come in if it actually breaks the range. But if you think of this as a range from that high to this low, then we're just testing the top of the range here. So not like great location. That's the thing. It's hard for me to. The nice guy in me wants to be like, yeah, fucking buy it, just because I don't like to break people's hearts. But it's hard to justify chasing into these. I mean, it's like you'll probably do okay. Like at the end of the day, if you're willing to hold through some dips. I mean, you buy this at 25, you're buying it right into the top of the range. It might get rejected here at the range and just end up back here a good like 40% down in the next couple weeks. So it's hard to like, it's certainly not the ideal situation that I would like to see when I pull up a chart, but you know, maybe let it break out and then draw reload zones and hunt a reload zone off of that move just so that you're the W breakout's already in and the trend has already started turning to the upside, like wherever it pops up to and then hunt. But like I said, if you bought it here, you're probably going to do all right. But I don't even think you can get I guess you could get a double right against the old highs here. Yeah, we could zoom in a little bit. I mean, I had my THG on 1 hour's up just to kind of like, let's look at it on that. Like, could you sneak into a trade? It's definitely trending. So like you could see how THG, I mean, to be fair, we're still heading up into that top of the range. So you might take your THG and get rejected at that high. But I suppose like, you could see the entry right there. Wasn't, we took that high out here. We were trending up through here. So there was entries like right there. There was an entry there. Those had all been fine. You might have gotten stopped out here if your stop was one step below, which mine would have likely been. And then you could have reloaded here, I suppose, and there, and there, and there even, and even just most recently. But you are just getting right up into that range, but range highs. So I don't know, but maybe a little late on this one still, even for THG. But nice trend through there. I was looking at. I mean, it's fun to look at. We could look at like. All of these names like that. I mean, it might be that situation. I think I was even maybe saying this on Sunday, but maybe we're moving into that kind of situation where you might have to do some trend trading like this as opposed to buying bottoms just because there's no more bottoms to buy at the moment. What else? Chax looks good. Stefan saying Chax. All right. Yeah, Soul Meme Paul. Yeah, we'll look at Soul Meme coins right now, actually, or in a minute here. I'll look at this Chax first. Chax. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but I suppose you're probably looking at it on MEXC, maybe. Is it this Chamcha? Oh, wait, I gotta go back to my other chart anyway. I wonder, are these two the same? Bitmart. Oh yeah, this is probably the LG you're talking about here. That's a nice chart. Well, hell, that's something you can work with. I mean, this is a daily chart. The weekly didn't have enough data. Well, there you go. That looks damn good. So, I mean, location-wise with fibs, you can see the 78.6 is basically this wider. I mean, I see a lot of W's here. I see a little W first there, then another one here, and then a wider one that just is, kind of trying to break out. I suppose these lows look lower. 27.5. No, that's a real W. So yeah, I like that level right away, which is basically 78.6. And price is sitting right there. So yeah, you can't tell me that's not buyable. In fact, well, it's not buyable for me. Shit. I can't buy. Well, I don't know. I guess I could maybe buy it on chain. Chax is ordinals and very long. Good coin. Is this is an ordinals project? I mean, yeah, I don't know. Stefan said he already bought it. I can see why. Looks perfect. You could even argue there's OBV divergence, actually. If you were to just zoom out enough, you got OBV divergence from here that's confirmed, as we were making, really we made the low there, but still it's like, actually that's because it's like a double divergence anyway. That's even an in divergence technically because this, well, that's not true. That's a higher lows. But hopefully you see what I'm getting at here. Big old wide W while price was making lower lows through there. Now we got another W. We're sitting right at that breakout level and we're below 78.6 of the range. So, I mean, could, if you're trading this, even if you risk, that's 38% to the downside and a double would be a 3-to-1, 2.6 to 1. And if we drew fibs the other way for fun, you could probably see that 38.2 as a target would be 123%. So yeah, there's a trade. And I suppose the trend line trade that Stefan was talking about would be also here, which is, I mean, you could use that trend line and you see there's plenty of W's on the other side of it. So, damn, that looks good. So I like that one. Checks, and then he's got another one. Hell, you should just be doing this. LYX. I'm out of ideas, so you got to step up. This one looks like more of a buy the dip kind of thing. No actual, I don't know. Is it, yeah, Luxa, this is what you're talking about. Yeah. I mean, it's sitting right at 78.6. I suppose there's some equal lows here, so I could see them just kind of, maybe that's a nice place to work a bit, is just against the lows here. Nice cheap below 76 level. Basically sitting right there now. No bottom here, though. I mean, we're still basically trending down, I mean, this could become a lower low here. And there's no real structure back here to work from. So it's just kind of a location only type thing, but I suppose I don't really love OBV here. It's like if they just dip to a new low really quick and turn it, then OBV will turn into a divergence. But for right now, it's just kind of it just sort of looks sort of M-ish. And then RSI didn't quite get oversold here, but it did turn. So I don't know. I mean, certainly good location, 100%. And the last one is Mubi. He added to his long on the retest. I suppose we'll look at it on Qcoin. I don't know. Oh, yeah. So there was nice W retest there. I'm sure that's what he's talking about, probably. Okay. Well, yeah, this is a newer one. Nice W, though. Yeah, no reason why you can't go hunting around there. And I suppose that's in a reload zone if we probably just maybe a little higher. Well, the retest was in the reload zone. Now we're above it, but looks like Mountain Man was the retest. So yeah, I think that one looks pretty good. I don't love OBV here trending down. Like OBV's made a new low as price moved higher here, so that's not a great sign for OBV. But I don't know if OBV is sort of like accumulation phase indicator. So as everything starts pointing higher, OBV becomes not as apparent, I suppose, is one way to look at it, because you're not going to see the divergences as much because everything's sort of already lifting off, and OBV does really well when you're in like an accumulation range. You go hunt like a divergence and see the turn coming in. I mean, this is a 4-hour chart, and I can see how like maybe it can come lower here. Like 78.6 is down here at 10 cents. Kind of. I mean, it does look like this is a lower high here, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't have bought it, that's for sure, but anybody that wants to get in on this probably still will have, likely have another chance. So that's cool. And Stefan says he added to his long. I don't know what you're saying why about, or a sad face, because I was looking at it on MEXC. God, I'm like blind or something. I can't read the chat. I added my, oh, okay. So I caught up on all the, jeez. Oh, let's look at Solana coins, I guess. Let's see. Do I have anything else I could mention here that's definitely not on this list? I was saying Zen's my old favorite and Waves is my old favorite. I love to fucking hate. But Waves is up a lot today. I have a love-hate. I love Zen and I have a love-hate relationship with Waves. And hilariously, Waves, like, I don't understand how the Waves guy has gotten away without being called out as a scammer. And it's like hilarious, or whatever you want to call a scammer. I'm using that word very liberally, but like just that guy almost receives no public flogging, it seems like he would just be getting torn up in public because some of the stuff that's happened with this whole thing has been pretty intense. So anyway, but damn, I mean, it's still a nice chart, and it's just a testament of like, you know, Waves is an old dino coin at this point, and geez, it's got so much higher to go. And that's in the face of like, if you go, I'm not going to talk about it. You could go read up about what happened, or just read the comment thread of any one of the guys' tweets. But even in the face of all the fuckery that happened with Waves, this thing will probably still 10x from here. Jeez. So yeah, anyway, nothing to say there though. Can't buy it now. And I just don't think I have any bright ideas. We'll look at some memes because I think really that's the only trading that I mean, that's the only place where you might be able to find some decent trades right at the moment. And I was already saying this earlier, but Bonk, as long as Bonk does an M out here, let's see what happens with Bonk. Maybe it can just keep going sideways, but I think an M here might sort of put the, you know, slow these things down. But to be fair, the other sort of big names like Whiff, I already mentioned, is ripping a new high. Jupiter is, I think, making a new high. Yeah, wow. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, Jupiter's ripping today now. Nice. I think a good chunk of us are all probably loaded up on Jupiter off the bottom. Certainly talked about it a lot. And the sort of new ones, like, well, Balls is already doubled. Let's see, Balls was, I think, maybe Stefan's call. Well, it looks like it's rolling over a little bit, but this one, I already mentioned this one, but still, like, as it comes, this one's getting listed on Mexi, I think. And I don't know, retest that level there seem okay. Like, so, I mean, I would reload there if it comes back down to like 20.025 cents. So Balls looks okay. This Pigeon is one of theirs from yesterday, maybe. That one's kind of taken off already too. Nice W here. So Pigeon, that's an hourly chart. This one's a newer issue, but yeah, let's see. Let's stay on the hourly here. You know, the same thing. If this one dips down into here, might want to wait for a new W. I don't know. It's up to you, but could draw a little box there for fun. But you know, like this area here on Pidgey. This reminds me of What's Birds Aren't Real doing. Let me look at that one here in a minute. Birds. I don't know how to make it green. Oh, up here. I know how to use it. So yeah, this one comes back down against the W. I mean, I really like just, you know, something around there. So maybe watch Pigeon. That made me think of Phony Birds, which is a favorite of mine, but it's not. It took off like, I mean, this was a huge move, and then now it's like working its way down. But I did notice it hit 78.6 here a couple days ago. So I like this one. I like this meme. It's all about birds aren't real. It's freaking hilarious. But yeah, all birds are actually these CIA spies. So Phony Bird, actually, I'd be willing to reload on this. I'm gonna just let it maybe make another W here. And I definitely like way down here. It looks like they already almost tested the highs back here, but somewhere down in there, if I can reload on this, I'd be down. So that's Phony Birds. And Paul's saying Hund is, I'm not in this one. Hund. This was one they were talking about today and yesterday, I think. This is like a Murrow, that guy from Twitter. I can't buy that, but I don't know if I'm looking at the right one. Is that the right one? It might not be. Those are the same. It's probably not that one. It probably is those, I'd guess. But yeah, it looks kind of, it's actually a Head and Shoulders top coming in, funny enough. Looks pretty Head and Shoulders-y. So I don't know, maybe wait and see what happens here, but I see a Head and Shoulders pretty clearly. So maybe watch that one for pump chaser zone type stuff. I mean, this is a 30-minute chart, so it's not, I don't know what was going on here in this sideways-y. Looks like it went sideways for a couple days for whatever reason. I'm sure if you zoom in, that's not totally sideways actually, but that's what's so funny about these. Like, watch, if I zoom in, it was probably like moving around an okay amount. That's crazy. That's like a huge move actually. So I don't know. This one's not my favorite at where it sits right here. That's not a great location, but yeah, maybe like looks like the pump chaser zone was already tested and now it's going to be retested. So maybe if it can consolidate here and put a W, then I'd maybe think about that. But this light maybe is turning finally. It's kind of not. Oh yeah, look at that. So this one, I'm underwater on this one. But that's a nice W. It's like maybe look. This is I don't know, AI, light AI or something. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. So I don't know. That looks actually pretty promising. Nice W against the lows. I don't know if this is a meme coin or it's actually got some sort of AI story around it, or I don't know, but hasn't quite broken out yet. But that looks pretty good. So maybe that one. Ape with hat. Oh god, these fucking memes. Everything with hat. Ape with hat. I don't have this one, but this one's also just a couple days old. And it's coming down into 78.6 here. Kind of like that light though. There's a pretty relatively good chance it'll end up down at the lows here. I mean, so it's probably best to wait for a bottom to come in as opposed to just stepping in, catching the knife here. I mean, this is, if anything, a big M. We're making lower highs and lower lows through this area now. So like, I wouldn't particularly feel any huge rush, but if it couldn't W out here, I mean, this is just an hourly chart. So like maybe look at it in a few hours and see if it's actually found a base at all. Because I mean, even like on like a 5-minute chart, it probably doesn't have much of a bottom, see, it's still just kind of grinding lower. So, but keep an eye on it. That one's already 2.7 million market cap. So yeah, maybe wait for the next W, and then I'd be down. Or because 88.6 seems likely. Just let's see what happens. That's cool. What else? So I got not sort of meme coiny, but I like this Sol Casino. Or is it this one? Sol Casino. Yeah, this one. I've been talking about this one lately. This isn't really a meme coin. It's like got a bigger market cap already, 15 million. It's a casino app on Solana. And it says here that's the top 5 biggest apps on Solana. Is that, yeah, top 5 most used app in Solana according to Dapp Radar. And it's like 15 million market cap. So I don't know. It's just sitting here below 78.6 with no bottom yet. I started nibbling on it like right here, basically where it's sitting. There's a little W that came in here and we're just kind of testing it, but that doesn't look very strong. And then there's this tail down here that's probably got to get eaten. So like also waiting for W is definitely the prudent thing to do. But you can kind of see how it's just coming down against the old highs of this range. Somewhere in here, I bet a bottom will come in, and I don't see any reason why I couldn't get back up top. So probably a little early here. I'm just taking tiny nibbles, and I'll just see how it goes. But I like that one. This is a non-meme. That's more of a, I don't know, like a, what do you call that? It's not a meme. It's just, it maybe has like more of a project behind it. I don't know. I haven't done much research. That's SCS, Sol Casino. And then this was one of like the group's names this week. SOLC, Soul Card. It's like a debit card of some sort. It's also not really a meme, but If this one can hold this sideways action, then maybe it's in a good location. The problem is it kind of looks like it wants to roll over here, but I mean, it's sitting at 78.6, has a W that's sort of held for now. They kind of washed the lows here, just a dip, and bought the FU move up, and it just sort of looks like it's kind of lower time frame trending down. So maybe wait for a W here too. But I like this one. Pretty okay location. It just doesn't look bottomed. What else is in here? I already said pigeon. Somebody was asking about this bozo the other, or I saw somebody post this one, and I don't know anything about this one, but it looks like it's trying to base here. Just no W. Maybe a W could. I mean, maybe if it W. The only thing I'm thinking here is it doesn't really have as much upside as a lot of these. For whatever reason, it took off out the gate like all of them do, or many of them. But it kind of ran out of steam in this long sideways. I don't know. It doesn't look that great to me, to be honest. I'd prefer more of a upside range. But I suppose it's still like a couple. It's like 67 up to 17. So it's like, just, you could bang a double out up into the top of the range. But that's not really that appealing to me. So I don't really like that one that much. What else I got in my list here? Well, I have a couple base names. Well, I'll stick to Solana here for a minute. I noticed my crochet from a couple weeks ago. It's coming back into levels. I got a double and then I bag held the move higher, but so it's basically back down kind of near my entry, I think. Yeah. Well, yeah, my entry's down here-ish. So yeah, I basically aped into this W here and then got a double, and then it went quite a bit higher, but I didn't take any more profit. And as this one gets down into against this W, that's versus Sol. Versus dollar, it doesn't have that same kind of W, but well, it sort of does, but this one is the cutest little crochet people. So this is the same thing. So this one's no W yet. Good location. If I drug my fibs maybe over to just here, like sitting right at right at 78.6 basically, but probably is going to come down and test. That's quite a bit of a down move, still like 40% down. So probably hunting around 88.6 in this W. But I'd consider reloading there, and these things are just they're just so cute. I don't know. This is what we're down to, guys. We're trading crochet stuffed animals now. This is where we've gotten. So the future of finance right here. The future of finance is looking damn cute. So crochet is I don't know, as it comes, well, let me back up a bit and just say, because of this huge up move, I bet it'll take a little bit more time. This might have to really round out here before it bottoms again. So always best to wait for a W. But if you're the kind of aggressive person that just wants to hit levels, then sure, you just might have to wait a while on it. What else I got in my list here? I mean, I've had some just huge runners, like Baby Bonk was just a massive up move. And now it's just sort of probably bouncing off 61.8, but can't really buy it there. Actually, this milk, this one. This one you'll have to go look up on your own, but I was looking at this again recently. I don't really like it necessarily right here. It is a W, though. It's got like a nice W trying to come in. It has tons of upside. I don't know what happened. This was like a pretty brief, huge move, and then they just brought it right back down. But it looks very bottom. I don't know. Like, it looks very bottomy. So if this thing can hang in there, it's a 280 market cap. I mean, I don't know. Chasing it right there isn't the worst thing ever, but it's not the best. I mean, it's quite a bit off the lows. It's good. Geez, it's like, well, it's a lot, like 10x or something. Am I looking at that correctly? So I don't know about chasing right there. I mean, ideally would have been buying back here. but you might keep an eye on milk. What else I got in here? I mean, some of these are a little late, like used car, banged a double out here. Nice W's though. I mean, very nice. You know, that's what like kind of like the ones we were looking at that were right here. You could like we were looking at a couple of minutes ago that are sort of in that area, and you see how I had to take some time and start putting new W's in. So maybe wait for that sort of pattern before you go and jump in them. This one I like, contract address, but it finally did produce a double for me, but it's just never really quite got going. But it has like a nice base set, so maybe as it comes back down. I like this one because it's just a contract address. That's the whole meme. I think that's awesome. So like this one kind of looks it looks pretty good. It just didn't really rip when everything else was ripping here recently. Like this one was kind of struggling. But as it comes back down, like I'll probably reload on it because like I said, I did get a double off already. What else I got? Well, you know, what's I never got into GME. I missed this one, but wow, it looks actually pretty interesting now. This is the GameStop meme. Daily chart looks like where my line is still seems like an appropriate place. That's like sort of the 3-bar fractal bottom on the daily and probably a W on the, yeah, so the W on the 4-hour. Great location down 88.6-ish. Just let it come down into there. Like this one, I'd be willing to just hit that level as it came down and not wait for a W. Just because the W's back here, yeah, it's cheap-ish, like at 88.6 and then tons of upside. So probably keep an eye on that one myself. Actually, I missed this one when everybody was all amped on it back here. Maybe Vaughn speed, that one has come back down a bit. So yeah, this one, like that one looks actually kind of interesting. This one's not Paul's favorite for whatever reason. He doesn't like Vaughn speed. But, you know, well, I see a couple W's now, so basically buying this one back against those two lines seems fine to me. This is another cat meme. I also banged out doubles through here. I mean, geez, I'd have to count my Solana doubles would probably be pretty okay number. Just since December, I started trading these things in December, and there's been a lot of doubles to be had. Jeez. And a lot more than doubles, to be fair. I don't know. What am I talking about here? Well, what else I got here? Draco was sort of a dog that might be turning now. I mean, this one ended up getting all the way back down. I mean, I'm in like 2 cars of this not working because I first bought it, I think it was like back in here and I didn't get my double. Let's see, do I have that? Yeah, I'm like, this trade isn't really done great. I originally bought it here, didn't get a double, bought it again, didn't get a double, and then bought it again and then just got destroyed. Oh, man. So not my best meme coin. But I suppose these, I mean, the funny thing about these is now that it's all the way down here, it might go sideways for a while, and then one day it's going to do like 10. I mean, it'll just do some huge move in one day. So if you want to kind of play this bottom, I don't think there's any rush, but I'm not in my best shape on this one. But maybe this one, I don't know. It's just cheap. It's no bottom yet, but it looks cheaper. But I mean, this, like, just to give you an example of one of those, what happens to these, it seems like, is like this one. I mean, this one, I banged a double out back here, and then I held it all the way through here, and then look at this thing. It just went like, in like 1 or 2 days, it went, I mean, I mean, I have that drawn at 6,500% because I think that's where I sold. But I mean, 8,400% off the. I mean, where I don't know if my lows are drawn exactly. But point being, like maybe that Drago actually, it might take a while, and then just it might wake up again. I don't know. I've seen that happen on a lot of these. In fact, recently, like even like Baby Bonk kind of did that. You know, it just started. It went dead. It was kind of like dead through this whole period, and then just woke up hard. And there's other ones like was Catman like that? I don't think this one was. This one was another big runner I have. This one actually didn't do that same thing. It just kind of W'd out here. What's the one I'm thinking of? But point being, like some of these dead ones came back alive. So I don't know. Don't give up on them. I suppose like maybe like here's another dog, this D Pepe that I bought. This one's not so great either. Like this one will probably do the same thing. I think I'm long from around there. Yeah, I bought that low. It just got obliterated. So, you know, this is like risk to zero type trading. Sell half on double, risk to zero. It's just that zero might come a lot faster than other coins. And so like this one, I went, you know, I'm like well underwater. But look at it now. I mean, this is D Pepe. This was one from the group like whenever that was, March 7th. So like a week ago. Well, it was actually right here, so not even a week. Well, that's only the 8th. That's not really a W. Yeah, it's a new low. Wow, see, even that move right there was just like not that big, actually. 13 to 18. So, point being is this one might have to do that sideways thing for a while, but it might, I don't know, if like me, I'm not going to do anything, and maybe it ends up here someday and I can sell half on a double way up way up high. My double is gonna be way the fuck up higher though. But you never know. Is my double? God, it's way up here. Am I reading that right? 4042. Oh, no, it's down here. But point being, still maybe I'll still get a double out here after going insanely underwater for a while. I mean, this will be just like that Beacock if that happens. And so I don't know. Don't underestimate the possibility of that happening. I'm not saying that's necessarily like making it a good buy right here, but maybe, I don't know. Like I don't even know much about it. It looks like it's a Deadpool meme. But clearly has shit tons of upside. So if you take like tiny nibbles and you're patient, you might come out pretty okay. Anybody else got any memes? I'll move to my base ones. Maybe we could even find some new ones here in a minute, but I think I've exhausted my list here. Well, Spiro, what's that one doing? This one might be kind of interesting, actually. It's another one I banged a double out through here. And it doesn't really have a nice looking bottom, but as it comes back down into reload zone, same thing, wait for a W, but this one seems okay. Spiro. MKM's not a meme. This is that mix mob that I kind of like, but it doesn't really, it's just sort of been grinding higher. It's not buyable right here, but this is some gaming coin that was shilled by that Noodles guy. And as it comes back down into reload zones, I bought it down here. I guess I technically got a double, but I don't remember where I was long from exactly, but I didn't sell on a double if it did go up that high. So yeah, maybe I'll re-entertain this one as it comes down lower, but that's not a meme. That's more one that might have a little, it's more like it says 14 million market cap here. I thought it was more like 30, but. And that one's listed on some centralized exchanges already, I think, and stuff. So I don't know. You might consider it as like a better fundamental story kind of Solana name, which I don't know, like there's not that many good Solana or like non-meme coin. There's like Helium, there's Jito or whatever, JTO. I kind of throw this one in that basket of like actually has a use case kind of thing. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what like quality names come out of Solana, whatever that means. What else I got here? I think like Brett. I mean, this one's a high flyer, so it's not ready to I don't know why I have that way up there, but yeah, man, this was a pretty big 10x or plus off the lows. Another one that I just had like a free position. Like I didn't buy this. This was the one I was talking about in this show. Fuck. Like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I was just sitting here doing this show, going like, "Damn, that's a nice looking chart." It was just these W's, and it was like this candle. I think was the day, and I was just like, I don't know, I'm not that excited about it, but it's a nice looking chart. And then it just like literally went like 20x the next day. I mean, damn. But I had a free position from back here, so free position is a free position. So I was selling this thing all the way up here too. And I think this one has a spin-off Bretta or something. What is that one doing? That's on Ethereum. I guess it's... I don't have this one, but... I don't know if I'm looking at the right one, but maybe that's okay. I mean, I see a W right there, and I see nice location. So this one might be... That's okay. Yeah, nice W. Looks like it's struggling at the moment, but... So I don't know. That's not so bad. Bretta, I should add this one to my list here, and maybe I'll come back to that one. Solzilla is not really buyable, I don't think. Yeah, that one's kind of... Did have a nice move recently. Also got trades off on that move. Used car, perhaps? I don't think that one's... Yeah, this one Oh, did I already talk about this? No, that was contract address. They look almost the same, and I bought them at the same time. This one, as it comes back down against the W's too, though, I'd be interested. I don't know. This one seems like it has staying power. Probably just like hunt that level there at 023. So yeah, as it gets down into that green line, I probably reload on that one. What else is in here? K-pop's not really... I don't know. K-pop's been weird. I mean, it did have a nice big move here recently, but took a lot of like wicks to the upside to finally break out, and then it just got knocked right back down. I don't really want to buy it here, but if you want to draw reload zones and buy it, I'd be down with that. Just probably against 78.6 here in that W. So it's close actually already. Somewhere like around there seems okay-ish, but yeah, in the bigger picture, you can see how it's just testing the 21 EMA here and bouncing. So that's a pretty good sign, and it's like big old W, to be fair. We have now just a big wide W. And there's this little W, which would have been, a nice, that was the last decent place to think about buying. But it just like didn't want to seem to rip when last week when everything was ripping really hard, it was kind of struggling. But not bad. Jupiter's already ripping new highs. Can't buy that one. I talked about this Omni a lot over the last while here, and damn, they missed my double. I think my double is right above. Yeah, it's like right above these highs, but I didn't get a trade off on that. And now as it comes back down against the W, it seems pretty good. Because I think I was buying like that line as it came down here, and I did think I took another nibble here, but I didn't get a sell off. This is the multi-chain cat meme coin. So it's on like Ethereum and Solana and some layer 2 Ethereums. But, hopefully just in the bigger picture, you can see that like it's just basically got a nice base here with a nice wide W, and we're just coming. So like any altcoin that looked like a weekly chart that looks like this, it would be a no-brainer for me to buy that level. And this is a daily chart. I don't see any reason why it doesn't apply to this as well. Yeah, just sitting there. To be fair, that's an M. So it's not like it's... I don't know. I don't know if there's a rush here. Maybe just let it come back down to that yellow line or lower, somewhere around there. I don't know. Draw reload zones here. Like that, and maybe hunt sort of, well, still that yellow line, I'd say. I don't know. Nobody's got anything in the chat. running out of ideas. I was going to mention a couple of base names just because I didn't look at them today yet anyway. I have, well, I only have one, but I was watching a couple. I guess I made a little list. Let's see. Because I do think I'm interested in trading on base. Seems, where's my base? Oh, it's, I mean, I have this one, and I kind of also wrote down my free position. I got a free position in that move and then just wrote it all the way back down to my entry. Then it bounced like another double today and put in a nice W here. I didn't reload on it, but I suppose as this thing comes back down, this is like, well, it's just base backwards. ESAB, ESAB. I noticed the base, it seems like the base market caps are a lot bigger. Like even the brand new ones, like, you know, this one, like it started at like you know, it was pretty big out the gate. Like even right here, it was, well, it was only 170K. Well, that was brand new. But it just did, you know, it just seemed they're like the Solana ones are smaller seeming. I don't know why that is exactly, but because even this one's sitting here at a million market cap basically. And it got up to 3. So I don't know. I guess it's about the same, but point being is it comes down to that W. I'd probably consider reloading on that. Kind of bag held this a little bit because I did get much more than a double, but I didn't get any extra off. And to be fair, I'm sort of just, it's like I'm selling half on a double for sure, and then I just kind of I can't exactly say I have perfect profit taking levels after that. I'm just sort of going with the flow a little bit because it's just a little harder to work limit orders, obviously, and just I'm just like, this is a base name, but with Solana, I'm trying to get Solana. I mean, that's the cool thing about trading that all those memes, in my opinion, is trading against Solana. I'm just trying to build up more Solana. So if I take profit too early, I'm okay with that. I'm just trying to increase my Solana bags, to be honest. And you could say the same thing about Ethereum with these, like trade them against Ethereum. Just try to scrape your profit out and get it into Ethereum. And then, you know, if you're trying to be long Ethereum, it's a good way to do it. So, so if I end up, you know, if I just kind of piece them out, like, and take profit a lot more aggressively than I would on just like that typical sell half on a double and just kind of ride those things into the cycle top. That's not really the same approach I'm taking with these meme coins. I'm just sort of like taking it when I can get it and trying to leave a little bit though. I don't like sell everything, just try to ride, you know, try to just basically like scale out, you could say. And I can't say that I have like 100% foolproof plan for that. But definitely selling half on a double, just get my capital back because I don't want to lose Solana. I don't want to lose any Solana. But anyway, I like that one. I was tracking this bald, but I never got in, and then it actually did finally break out, and I didn't get in, and then it also just crapped out. It looks like so. Another good example of how they will work their way all the way down, and now it looks actually pretty appealing to me. So, I mean, if I can see a W come in, maybe even like let it break out that W or find, I mean, there is kind of a little cheeky W in there right there. I don't know. I'm not opposed to that really. Of course, it still has a fair bit of downside risk if it really wanted to go after the sort of lower, I don't know, even that first candle high. That's like almost 50% down. So, you know, who knows? Maybe it goes dead for a while, but I'm kind of interested in that one. Maybe I'll check back in with this one later. Like even this one, that's like I was thinking about this. That's an 800,000 market cap all the way down here. I don't know. For some reason, the base ones look bigger to me in market cap. Can't remember what this basic one is, but it looks like it's not doing much. Needs a W, but basic. Maybe I'll check that out if I see a W here. And then I don't know. I made this list like a week ago. I didn't really follow up on most of these. It looks like this one did okay. Vex. I only traded that ESAB one. This one had a nice nice little W there and has had a pretty good move. It's a little late now though. That is just a double. I mean, this one kind of looks like that other LJ we were looking at earlier, but yeah, just trend line first W came in back here. So even if you would have bought that W, you would have sort of went underwater for a while, but it doesn't look that bad. However, now it's sort of, it's a little late. I don't know. My throat's getting a little dry, kind of out of names. I just went through a shit ton of names. Can't say that any of the, I mean, the memes are interesting. I don't know. All those memes, that's pretty much what I'm focusing on, actually, because there's nothing really out there in regular crypto land. I mean, I was going to maybe go through, one of my thoughts for today would be go through and look at like swing trades on strong things that maybe THGs, maybe you could take some THG swing trades on. Suppose we could look at a couple of those. I don't know. I don't have any like right off the top of my head, but it was just one thought I had. But you know, you can see crypto's pretty much, well, it's sort of a mixed bag here on this screen at the moment. Some green, some red. Obviously, WIF, big move. So WIF and Bonk are two, and Jupiter. So I mean, Solana memes are still kind of leading right now. It looks like, and I would think these three are pretty good proxies for the Solana meme coins. Like as long as these are doing pretty well, then I think that you could probably have a pretty good shot trading all the little ones. And those look like they're the biggest up on the day here in the top. It's funny to think like, God, this is the top 100. And I see Bonk. I don't know if Jupiter's not really a meme coin, but of course, Ape, kind of meme-ish. WIF, definitely meme. Pepe's in here. These are the top 100 market caps. How many of them are memes? I don't know if Ape qualifies. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Ape has some sort of related use case to their project, but I don't actually know, which I think Ape, actually, that was a nice W. I think it's probably a little late to buy Ape now, but that one wasn't looking so bad of late. Yeah, it sort of looks like Kava and those. It's a little late to step in there now. Paul had a great call on Ape here to buck. Pretty smart observation here. The Binance Open was 99 cents, and like that's pretty much I mean, that was like a no-brainer location. Geez. Just all the way against the original low, add a big fat round $1 number. That seems, it's a little late here though, but nice W. So I don't know. I mean, if anybody has any that they wanted to look at really quick where we could maybe look at THGs. Otherwise, I could just maybe pick one or two to call it a day here. Maybe we could just randomly look at. The problem is a lot of these, I know just by looking at the names, I'm like, well, I know like Near is like ripping. Maybe PYTH. What's that one doing? Let's see. Where's my THGs? Actually, that's not bad. I mean, without zooming out and looking at any other charts, I mean, clearly the uptrends came in sort of a head and shoulders bottom that broke out here. And I suppose those were the original entries, would have been nice places to get long. And then a couple more here, most recently right here, which seems a little bit late. But I suppose like that's 13%. I don't know. It's not bad, but seems a little late. I would have much rather been, even that one would have been a better entry. But that's okay. Maybe I have a couple more in this list, like Tia. What's it doing? It's not really trending higher. I mean, technically the THG is starting to fire into the uptrend. So maybe, I mean, I do see a W right there. And I do see this high a pretty good way away, and there is pretty tight risk window. So I don't know, maybe TIA could be considered. Probably let it, I mean, we do have multiple steps. We just turned green here though, so. But yeah, you could consider something like TIA. Something like, guess you just missed your entry here, but. I don't know. 3-1 up to this high. I do see I mean, I see a potential like wider W coming in here too, so I don't think it's in a strong trend right here at the moment though. What else is in here? Maybe I could pick a couple more. Dimension maybe? Looks like it's, I mean, it's a 1 hour chart I'm looking at here. So definitely was firing in there and has most recently fired and now would be underwater on that trade at the moment. But that's not so bad. I don't know. If you like Dimension. When's probably already too late because it ripped, but I actually, that's fine. Well, this is that Qcoin chart. That's kind of a weird chart because I don't think the rest of the when charts have this big huge move, but is there somewhere else I could look at that? MEXC? Maybe. I mean, we had, yesterday, this is that sort of daily M that started to come in. I suppose you could maybe watch this one. It's not really ready yet. I think it needs a couple of steps now because it went red for a little while here, but that could be one. Yeah, so it's probably a little late in this most recent move for most of these. I don't know, guys. I'm about talked out. I think if anybody's still left listening and has something they want to look at or has any questions, I'll be happy to entertain them. Otherwise, probably just keep on keeping on. Like I said, I'll probably follow the Solana coins mostly here in the short term, just sort of see if there's what's trading there. Not really too focused on buying weekly W's or anything at the moment. I mean, even like this is a pretty good chunk of the names I have in this list, and it's like I don't know. I've already gotten doubles on so many of these. Varo was kind of buyable coming back down. I've talked about this one a lot lately, but maybe that one as it gets down into like just a little lower down against this consolidation. That one seems okay. I mean, damn, this MDX is, I don't know, kind of maybe. I mean, it's got kind of an ugly bottom coming in. Looks pretty W-y. I don't know what it is. I bought this W here, and it's just, basically sitting there still. So maybe that one. This melon's kind of interesting, but it's a little late. I think this was David's name that I went and grabbed when he brought it up in the show. I think it was even in the show, and then I just went and bought it afterwards. But too late now. Or, it's a little bit chasey here. Great. I mean, this one in a nutshell, though, this is all you got to really learn is, moves to new lows. OBV divergence came in. Divergence confirmed basically right on that W breakout. So anywhere in there to buy would have been like kind of the level, wait for it to come back down against the W. Just that setup alone is plenty for crypto investing. That's like a conservative setup, I'd say. That's a little late for that one now. Yeah, so I don't know. That's about all I got, I think. I can't think of anything that's I liked Stefan's name. What was that one? Shit. Well, it's in the chat, but not LYX. It was that was probably the nicest looking one. Where is it? Chax. Is it Chax? Chax. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but I think it was this one. Yeah, this looks like probably one of the nicer altcoins that we looked at today. Just sitting there. So if you're on MEXC, maybe give that one a consideration. And actually going back to the OBVs, I already talked about OBV div, but this is that same kind of idea. Basically we're in a divergence now. OBV's pointing higher, suggesting that money's flowing in and not out. So basically all the sellers have sold and now the accumulators are just quietly accumulating. And I bet the odds of getting a double from here are better than 50%. Just a guess. Especially if you're not using a stop and you're just like gonna sell half on double or risk to zero. I bet your odds of getting a double is pretty good. So I guess maybe I'll call it a day here. Not really seeing anybody asking me anything else. Thanks for joining me. Sorry if I'm a little all over the place, just sort of the way I roll, I guess. The path these talks take just are just go with whatever particular mood I'm in, I suppose. I don't really do much preparing if that's not obvious. But it is fun to just come on live stream. It's always fun to just chat charts. I like doing this. Hopefully I can come up with some good names from time to time. I think I've done an okay job at making some okay calls here over the last year. I'll keep on doing that. And if anything, I mean, I'm not taking credit for any of this shit anyway. I'm just like all of us. I'm listening to the stuff people are saying, other people are coming up with. I'm taking trades that the group comes up with. I rely on them to come up with ideas every day. That's sort of the cool thing, is I could just open it up. And that was another thing I was thinking about doing today. I guess there's not enough time now, as I was just going to maybe go through some of the channels and see what people were talking about. But every day there's trade ideas coming out of the group, so that's always helpful. I suppose most recently, like balls is one that that was the idea that came out of the New York session. Bang to double out in less than a day. Well, about a day. This one right here from Stefan. That melon I showed earlier was David's. Nice looking trade. Boom. So these aren't even my ideas. What's another one I took from somebody? Not take, but you know what I mean. And that's, I suppose, the whole reason we do this. And so if anything, I'm just trying to keep that wheel spinning. So I'm happy to come on and talk and shoot the shit. And I don't know, hopefully it's valuable to people. And if I hear about a good idea, I'm happy to share it. And of course, Paul and I have been doing this for over a year now, every Sunday anyway, just going through and trying to identify altcoins to buy. And I think we did a pretty good job throughout the whole accumulation year last year. That particular plan's banging out doubles just like all of us. That was a little bit more conservative in nature. We were focused more on the top 100 coins, but it's just cranking away. Hanya's got over 100 doubles. Eddie's got over 100 doubles. I'm sure I do too. It's nice to see everybody having some nice wins. And I don't know. Let's just ride this shit until it's over. I don't know how long it's going to last. And I'll just end with saying this. Be forewarned that one day it's not going to look as good as it does today. I can't say when that day is, but there will be some sort of dip, and that will be a buy the dip moment, though. So that's probably the best way to end this, is just say there probably will be some sort of bloody day, and that day doesn't mean this is over. That's actually going to be the last chance to load up. So we should be hoping for that, honestly, especially if you have over 100 doubles now, then you should probably be hoping for some 30 or 40% correction in altcoins, or even more maybe. And going back to that Bitcoin rainbow chart, it sort of looks like you could almost see, it wouldn't be a huge surprise to see it coming up here somewhere in this area, just seeing some sort of dip. And I would argue that's what we want. I'd rather that happen than Bitcoin shoot straight up to 100. Or if it shoots up to 100, hopefully that happens shortly after that. I don't know. I don't want to see Bitcoin just go too much more parabolic, actually, because I think the more parabolic it goes, the more likely there's probably going to be some sort of early ending to the bull. We don't really want to see peak euphoria just yet. So we'll see what happens. But just keep an eye out for that dip, and maybe have some stink bids working on the stuff you want to buy, and try to get loaded up when that does come. But for now, just keep on enjoying it while it lasts, because it won't last forever. Anyway, thanks everybody again. Appreciate it. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, or if there's anything I can help you with. And I will talk to you all later. So goodbye. Goodbye. Sorry, that was probably really loud, but I will see you all later.